This 100-year-old style took over the world, and chances are it's hiding in plain sight all around you. From New York skyscrapers to tropical beaches, from movie palaces to TikTok interiors, Art Deco never left. In fact, it's one of the coolest design trends still shaping the world today. If you have ever looked twice at the Chrysler Building in New York, the beautiful lobby of the Empire State Building, or the pastel-coloured facades of the Colony Hotel in Miami, you've already appreciated Art Deco. This year marks 100 years since Art Deco was introduced to the world. So, how did a style born in the 20s still manage to look fresher than half the buildings going up today? In this video, we'll uncover how this bold geometric style took over cities, fashion, furniture, and even ocean liners worldwide. We'll highlight the most iconic examples and reveal a few hidden gems you've probably never noticed. Before we frame the elegance of Art Deco, hit subscribe and stay aligned with the world's boldest designs. Art Deco is so iconic because everything about it seems polished and put together. There is no messiness or randomness. The look is super structured. You'll see strong shapes like rectangles, zigzags, sunbursts, and those neat little chevrons. But it's not just all sharp edges and corners, there's a softness too. The lines feel smooth and planned. Rounded corners, steady patterns, and lots of vertical lines help your eyes move through the design. Art Deco buildings often look like they have been carved, not just built. Even the tiniest detail feels like it was placed with care. One reason Art Deco stands out is because of the materials. This style loves mixing things, like shiny chrome, clear glass, black marble, mirror finishes, lacquer, and even ivory. All of these are used in contrast. For example, glossy next to matte, dark next to light. If you step inside an Art Deco space, you notice how the surface plays with light. And when it was introduced in architecture, Art Deco changed the way cities looked. Skyscrapers started rising with stacked layers and stepped shapes, pulling the eye upward. Two great examples are the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building, which are meant to wow you from the street. Later on, a softer version called Streamline Moderne came along. It added curves and long horizontal lines, especially in airports, diners, and bus stations. It kept a clean, modern look, but with a smoother flow. But before we got to the smooth corners and chrome diners, where did it all start? How did Art Deco even begin? The roots of Art Deco stretch back to early 20th century France, where designers and architects were growing tired of the soft, flowery look of Art Nouveau. That earlier style loved nature. There were vines, flowers, and flowing curves everywhere. But by the time the First World War had ended, people were no longer in the mood for delicacy. They wanted bold, they wanted modern, and they were ready to celebrate change. The big moment that pushed Art Deco into the spotlight came in 1925. That year, Paris hosted the Exposition Internationale des Arts Décoratifs et Industriels Modernes. It was a massive design fair meant to showcase modern French design, and it introduced the world to do something fresh and polished, Art Deco. That's actually where the name comes from, Arts Décoratifs. What made it different? Art Deco was not trying to imitate history. It didn't borrow from classical architecture or Gothic spires. Instead, it took cues from things like Cubism, the Ballet Russe, industrial machines, and even ancient Egypt. It was the time King Tut fever was real after his tomb was discovered in 1922. You could find stylized pyramids, scarabs, and bold patterns showing up on furniture and buildings not long after. Another big influence was technology. This was the era of fast trains, radios, airplanes, and electric everything. So, naturally, design started to reflect that speed and excitement. Shapes became more geometric. Materials got more industrial and included metal, chrome, and glass. What made it so popular is that Art Deco didn't limit itself to fancy homes or galleries. It appeared everywhere, from department stores and apartment buildings to movie theatres, town halls, factories, and even ocean liners. Entire ships were decked out in Art Deco, from bow to stern. And then it spread around the world and in all things. Art Deco went straight from Paris onto buildings, jewellery, furniture, fashion, trains, radios, and cinemas. If it had a surface, Deco dressed it up. Let's start with buildings. In the United States, Art Deco showed up loud and proud. We cannot appreciate the beautiful structure of the Chrysler Building enough. It is standing tall in New York with its sharp crown, stainless steel spire, and car-inspired details. Even the elevator doors are little works of art. In the same city with a different vibe, we have the Empire State Building with its tall, symmetrical, strong lines. Miami took it in a softer direction by building streamlined shapes, pastel colours, and rounded edges. Walk through South Beach and the buildings still feel like they are cruising along the coast. Over in Latin America, Art Deco made a dramatic entrance in cities like Buenos Aires and Rio. The Cavana building in Argentina looked like a futuristic fortress. In Brazil, they built Deco-style train stations, churches, and cinemas. Mexico took it to another level and blended local materials, pre-Columbian influences, and Deco geometry. In Africa, Deco arrived through colonial architecture. Casablanca and Asmara are full of striking examples. You would see smooth curves, sweeping balconies, and zigzag grills right in the middle of Moroccan marketplaces. It became a marker of modernity under European rule, though today people value it for its aesthetic, not its past. India got into it too. Mumbai's Marine Drive is lined with Deco buildings that combine tropical weather features with those signature curves and lines. Even department stores and theatres carried the look. Meanwhile, in China, Shanghai was booming in the 1920s and 30s, and Art Deco fit perfectly into its status as a global city. They built Deco hotels, clubs, and offices all along the Bund. Some of those buildings are still used today, and yes, they are still fabulous. But Art Deco didn't stop at buildings. It walked into the room through fashion and furniture. Designers like Émile Jacques Rouman made furniture that looked like sculptures with sleek surfaces, glossy woods, and ivory inlays. Jewellery designers used platinum, coral, onyx, and diamonds to create bold geometric pieces. Coco Chanel took those ideas into fashion and created clean shapes, fine fabrics, and sharp lines. Women looked stylish and finally free to move. Then there were movie theatres. Art Deco turned cinemas into palaces. Radio City Music Hall in New York, Grand Rex in Paris, Gaumont State in London. These places became more like experiences. 4-story lobbies, chandeliers, murals, velvet and gold everywhere. And yes, even the popcorn counters matched the aesthetic. Art Deco also stepped aboard. Literally. Ocean liners like the SS Normandie were floating showcases of Deco luxury. Then the grand dining room, which is bigger than Versailles, with pillars made of Lalique crystal. Train stations, diners, airplanes, radios, vacuum cleaners, everything followed suit. Even cars like the Chrysler Airflow adopted streamlined shapes and chrome detailing pulling straight from Deco playbooks. And today it is still here. Designers love it, Just look at the Brooklyn Tower or shop architects' newer projects. Restaurants, hotels, fashion lines, and even TikTok interiors are bringing back deco elements. It never really disappeared. This trend just took a nap. Now, some Art Deco buildings get all the fame, but there are others that don't get talked about enough, and honestly, they deserve a spotlight. Take the Palais de Chaillot in Paris as an example. Built for the 1937 International Exhibition, it is not flashy in the way New York's Deco towers are, but it is a masterclass in monumental design. It is massive, symmetrical, and shaped like a wide curve that opens towards the Eiffel Tower like it was designed to frame the view. You get tall, clean columns, sculpted facades, and wide terraces. It is classic deco, but adapted for public power and civic pride. Now, jump to Los Angeles and look at the Eastern Columbia building. Finished in 1930, this one has beautiful turquoise terracotta tiles, gold trim, and a four-sided clock tower. The whole building is detailed from top to bottom, but somehow doesn't feel overdone. That's the deco magic. It is one of the best surviving examples of West Coast Art Deco. And then there is the Napier Municipal Theatre in New Zealand. Napier was rebuilt in Art Deco style after a 1931 earthquake, and this theatre is one of the finest examples from that rebuild. It is streamlined but elegant, with curved corners, stylized lighting, and native motifs mixed into the design. The structure is beautiful, yes, but it's so iconic because it tells a story of resilience through architecture. Each of these buildings show how Art Deco could adapt, impress, and still feel perfectly balanced, no matter where in the world it landed. To sum up, we've explored how Art Deco, a style born over 100 years ago, has continued to shape the world's design landscape. From iconic skyscrapers to hidden gems across the globe, whether it's the bold geometries or the lavish materials, Art Deco has shown its staying power in architecture, fashion, and beyond. It's truly remarkable how a style from the 1920s is still influencing design today. Personally, I think Art Deco is a perfect example of timeless elegance. Its combination of precision, luxury, and innovation makes it a style that will always resonate with us. Now, what about you? What's your favourite Art Deco building? One that's well known, or maybe even one you stumbled upon yourself? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're passionate about architecture, design and construction, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.